Hello, welcome to learning about being an orchestra teacher from an experienced orchestra teacher. Whether you're a violin, viola, cello, or bassist, a band person teaching orchestra, I'm here to help you. So why listen to me? Because I'm an accidental orchestra teacher and I have a lot of experience to share with you. So I was a bass player. I am a bass player. And so I have the side of me that has to learn how to play the violin as an adult, which was very scary. But I am also experienced. I have 10 years experience in the public school system, and my students are amazing. They all make amazing progress. And so that's why you should listen to me and watch my channel. So I'm going to make a playlist just for orchestra teachers, new orchestra teachers, old orchestra teachers. If you want to sit through a lot of stuff that you already know, trying to find tidbits, that's fine too. And you will learn all about how to be an orchestra teacher. So maybe you got a job teaching band and they said, oh yeah, you have an orchestra class. Or maybe the orchestra teacher job was the only one open when you applied. So this is for you. I have two sets of videos, one for teachers, one for students. This one is obviously for teachers, and they're all free. I'm not charging for any of them, and I'm not putting them on a pay to play. So this first one is about sequencing. Sequencing is super important. It's the most important thing. So you want December to be an amazing concert. So if you want December to be an amazing concert, we got to talk about sequencing. So here's the sequence. 1, rhythm reading. Use songs to help your students read rhythms. You can use a YouTube channel, you can use your own system, but make sure they are hearing music while they were reading rhythms. The second thing that they need to know, and there are a lot of different ways you can do this, is they have to know a little bit about structure of music if their elementary school didn't teach them, and they have to know the name of the notes on the staff, whether they're learning the bass clef or the treble clef. You can give them worksheets, you can do it on musictheory.net, you can use Staff Wars. However you want to do it, they've got to know those note names before they really start reading. When you get the violin, viola, and cellos out, and basses, the main thing that you're teaching them is the parts of the instrument and instrument care. Super, super important. I wouldn't even let them get their instruments out until they know how to take care of their instrument. Remember, when we teach little kids, we start them on paper instruments or cardboard box instruments. So you're teaching them about instrument care, how to get it out, how to put it away, which parts of the instrument will fall apart if they're not careful, what accessories they need. This can take just a couple days, but it's super important. So you always want to teach rhythm first. So after they know how to take care of their instrument, you're not going to get the instrument and play the instrument. You are going to start with the bow. You're going to start with bow hold, bent thumb, rounded fingers. Violin, viola is pinky on top. Cello, bass, their pinky is around. Violin, viola, they lean against their first finger. On cello, bass, their bow hold is balanced. All that stuff, because then they can start moving the bow on their shoulder to the rhythms that they have learned how to clap and count. Then at the same time, you need to be teaching them how to get the instrument up into playing position. Get the instrument up into playing position. And there are a few different ways to do that, but generally you turn on some music, you have them stand up, and you create a sequence of movements that gets it from guitar position up into playing position. Students can learn open string songs rhythms by plucking the string, both in guitar position before they get up into playing position. And they can try it in guitar position and then try it in playing position. Let me just say one thing about the right hand. When the students are learning how to hold the bow, that's one concept, is holding the bow. Then they have to learn how to move their wrist, their elbow, and their shoulder. And I'm on a music stand. You're on a music stand. You're sitting on a music stand. To move your shoulder, to change the string, and the elbow to move the bow, and the wrist has to be nice and flexible. That's going to take a little bit of time. Then you're going to teach the left hand setup, how to set up the left hand. I see this way too much with you band teachers. That is not how you hold the violin. The violin is held with a straight wrist, cradled in between the thumb and the side of the finger. Not down here, not right there, not right there, not up here, side of the finger. There's one specific spot that you use to hold the violin. So while you're doing that, because it takes about 3 weeks to 3 months to get a good posture set up for a new beginner, you're going to do 3 different approaches. This can be done in guitar position for violin and viola. Cello bass is a little easier for the posture setup. So you can use a traditional posture for teaching notes. So when you're teaching the notes, you're only doing pizzicato, plucking, not the thumb here, or if you're up here, you're going to pluck with your finger. Guitar, you're going to pluck with your thumb. If you have it on your shoulder, you're going to pluck with the finger. Super, super important. And also, it's super important the thumb is underneath those fingers when you're plucking, because that supports a good bow hold. So now that they know the notes on the staff and they know what the name of the notes is on the staff, then you can start learning how to apply that note to what they see on the page. Not just the rhythm, but also where it is on the staff. So there are 3 different approaches. The most common approach in public schools is the A-D approach. So you start with D major and you learn the notes, the fingered notes, the open D, the open A, the fingered notes on the D, the fingered notes on the A. That's not to say they can't practice rhythms on the other strings, but those are the two strings that they learn the fingered notes. The other approach, if you're only teaching violin and you have only violins, you need to approach it from the A and the E, because the E is so much easier to play one string at a time. And then the last approach, which is more an advanced technique, if you're a string player, I would definitely explore this, although I don't have a method book for it yet, but I'm looking for one. And that is the C major approach. The C major approach avoids open strings. You're playing first finger on the G string, that's your first note. Cellos are playing their open C. Violas are playing their open C. And bass players would have to be taught separately, because their first note would be second finger on the A string. And for young players, that's really difficult to put your fingers down. So I would suggest putting your bass players on a George Vance track. If you're going to do the C major approach, you will need to teach your bass players separately. And for you band people out there, remember, when you are teaching, the fatigue does not come here. The fatigue comes in the shoulders and the arms when you're holding the instrument up. So you've got to give them lots of breaks so that they enjoy what they're doing, and you've just got to get them up into playing position and let them come down, get them up into playing position and let them come down. What I would suggest you do a lot of repeated notes when you're learning rhythms. Lots of repeated notes when you're doing rhythms. You don't want to do that in band because the fatigue is here, but you do want to do it in orchestra because it helps your group sound amazing. In band, it's all about breath support on how the tone sounds. In orchestra, it's all about how you move your body. It's almost like teaching dance. And all those kids that signed up for orchestra, and especially the ones that play violin, they want to do vibrato and they want to shift and they want to sound like the amazing violinist that they heard somewhere, or cellist. And in order to do that, you have to have amazing technique and good posture. And as their teacher, it's your job to teach them that and to reinforce it every single day in class. So now that you know what to do before you get started in class, and now you know what to do in the first year of teaching orchestra, move on to the next video and let's get started.